I was hoping Earl would cuss more so you could beep him out. You might just have to beep out words. Okay. So Earl, we're here again to talk about accounting, which is our favorite subject, right?
That's amazing.
And so the way most companies get their GL entries is through the batch method. They're using like QuickBooks, where they get this IIF file. They have to go into QuickBooks Desktop and they have to import that file. And that file just gives you very basic entries, income numbers, the
totals.
Current period, previous period of AR, of suspense fund, of deposits. And so
it's very functional, but all the details of those is within point of rental.
That's right. And so what we want to talk about today is the option of using integrated accounting, which a lot of people may not be aware of. In the rental company that I was working at, we were multi-store. We had account numbers set up to where we were having to manually push them in with an IIF file.
Mm-hmm.
It was a mess. It was such a mess. We had multiple instances of point of rental for each company. We weren't even one company. We ended up going into one company, but we still had to put in these different account numbers for the stores, and we had to import the file. It was a heavy workload on our accounting team. And so we actually went to the integrated accounting using Sage Intacct, and it made things much easier from an accounting perspective. They didn't have to manually push the information over. The information was there within Intacct to where they could see where the information was coming from. And I got a lot less calls. So if you're on Elite, you do have the option of having integrated accounting. The two things we're going to talk about today are Sage Intacct and QuickBooks Online. And so what you can do is we can help you get it set up to where you have the integration with your accounting package. And you can set that up a couple different ways. You can go with the regular batch based where you're just getting those numbers, but it pushes it over automatically. There's no need to import that file. Or you can set it up to where you're getting real-time entries, which means, and we're going to stick with close to accrual. That's what most customers are on. And so as I close contracts or I post payments, I get entries immediately pushed over to my accounting package. And along with that entry is a note telling you where it came from. So it's going to reference the contract number. It's going to have, let's say that it's a closing of a contract. It's going to reference the income account for whatever those rental items were, those sales items were, depending on how you have it set up. So, Earl, all of that said, can you elaborate on why a company might want to use real-time entries as opposed to batch entries?
Well, the only reason I know of is that you can look at any second and see their income you're posting, what's hitting your accounts, rather than having to wait to the end of the day and seeing, what happened yesterday. You can see it in real time. For companies that are doing, multi-stores, lots of transactions, lots of income, that's useful. For smaller companies that don't need that detail, batch base works pretty darn well, has worked well for years for a lot of our customers. It just depends on what your accounting folks need or won't. And basically it boils down to what the accountants want. I don't care. I have never balanced my checkbook. Okay, that's close enough.
There's money in there.
There's money in there. But other people are better accountants than I am. So it depends on what the accounting folks want to see.
Point of rental has a lot of reports and things like that within the software where you can go back and you can see, based upon your batch entries, where did all those entries come from and things like that. But one of the benefits of having the integrated accounting is a lot of companies, especially larger companies, they don't have their accountants logging into point of rental. And so what it allows with those real-time entries is they can see where the entries are coming from and the information right there within Sage Intacct or whatever product that you have the integration with. And so what I would say is if you are on Elite and you are interested in eliminating the need to import the batch file, that IIF file, into QuickBooks Desktop, give us a call. We're happy to help you guys, talk you through how it could benefit you, and work with you to set it up if you're on one of these platforms that can integrate with point of rental. Thank you for joining us today regarding accounting. It's really mine and Earl's favorite topic. If you guys have any questions, need any help, take a look at
Anytime.
YouLearn, Ask AI, give us a call. Earl will give you his cell phone number. He loves all of our customers.
Here, let me just write it down for you.
You guys have a great day.